These are the healthy teenagers of Puyo, the young boys, the young girls, and they are very beautiful because they're young and they're fit. Now, wouldn't it be grand if these children, once they finish school, could continue their healthy lifestyle? And this we can do with democracy, where all their achievements once they graduate are still recorded, such as when they are involved in another worldwide issue, which is retraining. They would leave Puyo and go and come back and be debriefed. This is all the potential. Now, if we had one of the kids unfortunately going to prison, when they come out, they would be straight into a strong support system which would bring them back to the road and guide them to good citizenship. And the final issue, in the big cities of Ecuador, you have such things as bullying. That would be stopped totally, because no child would ever be placed in a situation like that ever again. Thank you. Finding a narrative to our lives is not an easy thing, but sometimes people grab hold of at a very young age a thoroughly bad narrative. You can see an example of a bad narrative in operation in Pakistan. A few weeks back in Lahore, on the steps of the courthouse, you would have found a father bludgeoning, with something like this, bludgeoning his daughter's head because she had fallen in love with the wrong person in his view. This girl, the last hearing that she had was of her family jeering at her for the dishonor she had brought. This is a bad narrative. Is there any kind of counter narrative which can combat something with the venom of this bloody extremist murder? And I suggest that the possibility lies in the original spirit of democracy, and I have a thing called Democracy Reaches the Kids, which can, I believe, give that alternate counter narrative, so that this kind of extremism can be dealt with head on. And I would say, for God's sake, the world is crying out for some kind of answer. A few years ago, America embarked on a grand mission to spread democracy throughout the world. Sadly, this did not go, and it seems to have been shelved. I suggest we revisit this noble endeavor. Democracy is not just the question of selecting this or that silver-tongued politician, but democracy can also bring greater success to the young people. Democracy reaches the kids, which the world can embrace, and I believe that this should be passed across to the State Department for the betterment of our beautiful world. Democracy Reaches the Kids could be the next forward step in relationship to affirmative action and education. This also includes those cases of reverse discrimination. The democracy education focuses entirely upon the individuality of each and every child, and this of course has nothing whatsoever to do with race, colour and all that. Also in America today you have the situation at the famous colleges where a student cannot be, there's some doubt whether a student is there because of merit or is it something to do with affirmative action? Democracy education neatly sidesteps that, because each and every person out there, if they feel that a student is not up to snuff in some subject or another, can call for the records and the review and the redoing as necessary of any of the democracy kids. This is an issue of The Economist, the 2nd of May 2014, and there is a photo of Jean-Paul Sartre, if you can see that. And the book under review is called Liberalism, The Life of an Idea by Edmund Fawcett. In this, it says a couple of things. Liberalism's aim is to create the conditions in which every and each person can thrive in his or her own way, unburdened by procedure. And down here, liberalism commits to the intrinsic worth of every individual. This rather dovetails with democracy reaches the kids, and the precepts of a liberal arts education as defined, good writing, speaking, how to learn, are encouraged in requirements. Democracy reaches the kids, communication and computer engineering is also similarly facilitated. Mr. Clown here is unhappy. Is it because he is in the 3rd highest capital city in the world, behind La Paz, Bolivia, and Lhasa in Tibet? No. He is unhappy because he is padlocked, because the boys might kidnap him and take him away. So we can think of these boys here in Quitumbe, and the boys who would interfere with Mr. Clown do this because they too have been padlocked, and they have already got the message that they are failures because the education system says so, and they have no hope, very little hope for the future. So we're all sad, yes? Why is it that boys threaten adults? And I think this actually reflects back on school. School is in the position where it selects the kids who are going to win in life, but almost accidentally it also selects the kids who will not win in life, who are in essence failures. And so when I was on the steps between the World Heritage Site and the Panaceo, I was confronted by a boy with a Phillips screwdriver who had nothing to lose whatsoever than have a go at an old tourist visiting the city. This is the malefics of modern education. The World Heritage Site, Quito, is making valiant effort to stop the graffiti that covers pretty much every surface in South Quito. Sadly, not with complete success. Graffiti is a cack-handed statement by boys, I am unique. School does not recognize the boys' uniqueness. It's all one size fits all. Democracy Reaches the Kids, of course, does emphatically celebrate the unique art of the boys' own lives. And at the key time, the beginning of life's great adventure and journey.